Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is Nur Izzah binti Muhammad Keta alias Mokhtar, and in this video I am going to present about my final year project, which that title is Synthesis of Magnetic Biochar Derived from Oil Palm Frond for Waste Cooking Oil Treatment. My study investigates the potential of magnetic biochar as low-cost bioadsorbent, and it was characterized by using FTIR and SEM. Pyrolysis and co-precipitation method was used in my study, and the batch experiments with several parameters such as contact time, dosage of biochar, and concentration of oil were also conducted in order to find out the optimum condition for the magnetic biochar to become the adsorbent. Okay, the next one is the objective of this study. One of my objectives is to develop a low-cost adsorbent by using a source from agricultural waste, which is oil palm frond, and another one of my objectives is to synthesize magnetic biochar from oil palm fronds that have potentials as bioadsorbent in treating with cooking oil. Hence, I believe that this study will be beneficial towards the environment, community, and industry by investigating a more desirable and excellent way to treat wastewater by using biomaterial waste. With proper water treatment, communities will be able to avoid all of those problems and have a better lifestyle. Apart from that, industrial effluents with high rate of oil contamination also can be treated with more efficient by using new technology discovered in the study. Did you know that there are a large amount of waste cooking oil produced every day, and a lot of them were also being spilled in the drainage? In the fast food business alone, a single branch which serves fried food such as fried chicken, french fries, and burgers can produce as much as 15 liters of used cooking oil per day. Malaysia also has been recognized for being one of the world's top manufacturers and exporters of palm oil products in past decades. Therefore, I invent magnetic biochar in order to treat waste cooking oil and overcome these problems. Another benefits that people can get from this magnetic biochar is that the magnetic biochar uses agricultural waste that requires more lower cost, and and Malaysia also has abundance of oil palm around this country. Therefore, it makes people easier to get the source. Okay, so for the methodology, I will now explain about how to make a biochar. Firstly, the oil palm frond need to be crushed into smaller pieces, and then the oil palm frond need to be carbonized by putting it into furnace at 400 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, and then we need to impregnate it with zinc chloride, and then after that we need to put it into a furnace at 600 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. After that, it need to be washed with hydrochloric acid for several times. After we finish washing it with hydrochloric acid, we need to wash it again with the ionized water until the pH is around 6 to 6.5 in range, and then it need to be dry in the drying oven until it dry. Lastly, it need to be sieved by using 150 micrometer sieve. Okay, so now after the biochar was done, we can now prepare for the magnetic biochar by using the biochar that I had been made earlier. Okay, so firstly, we need to add 20 grams of the biochar prepared just now into 200 ml of the ionized water, and then we need to stir it until it completely dissolves. At the same time, we also add and mix 20 grams of ferric chloride and 11.1 grams of ferrous sulfate into 600 ml of the ionized water, and then we need also to stir it until it completely dissolves like just now. And after that, both of the solution will need to be mixed together at room temperature around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Okay, the next step is to add dropwise 10 mol of sodium hydroxide into the mixed suspension until the pH is between 10 to 11. After that, it needs to be stirred using magnetic stirrer for 1 hour. And then it need to boil by using magnetic stirrer hot plate for 1 hour. And then the solution need to be filtered. After that, the filtrate need to be washed with deionized water and ethanol for several times. Lastly, it will need to be put in drying oven at 70 degrees Celsius for 18 hours. Okay, now in order to do oil removal experiment, we will be needing synthetic waste cooking oil. The procedure is the sample of waste cooking oil will be held in a storage container before it was used. In the first batch, we need to add 2.5 ml of waste cooking oil that stained with 0.1 gram of red oil and stir until the solution is homogeneous. After that, the solution need to be mixed with 1000 ml of distilled water and it was shaken until mixed. Another second and third batch of waste cooking oil were made by using 10 ml and 50 ml of waste cooking oil with 0.5 gram and 2 gram of red oil mixed with 1000 ml of distilled water. Now I will explain about the experimental procedure of oil removal. After we have made the magnetic biochar and synthetic waste cooking oil, the experiment is as follows. Firstly, we need to pour 50 ml of the synthetic waste cooking oil into each 3 beakers. And then we immerse the magnetic biochar into the first beaker. We shake well the beaker and the shake time is taken as the contact time. After that, we need to dip in a magnet attached with a hook into the beaker and let the dipping time as the contact time too. And then lastly, we pull out the magnet and repeat the step for the second and third beaker with the same step mentioned just now. For the result and discussion part, I had used SEM, which is scanning electron microscopy, and FTIR, Fourier transfer infrared, in order to see the surface area of the magnetic biochar and also to find out the functional group of it. For the FTIR results obtained, I can see that the graph shows a strong peak at 2341 per centimeter that represents the symmetric stress of vibration of strong OCO stretching of carbon dioxide, and the graph also shows 2130 per centimeter peak that represents strong NCS stretching of isothiocyanide in the magnetic biochar. For the same result, the picture by using 2000 times magnification shows that there are a large number of pores at the surface of the magnetic biochar. It can be clearly observed that the surface of the pump from biochar consists of shiny bulky particles and whitish spacious structure. There are another statement from another research article that I would like to state here. It states that the pore structure of the biochar is developed within a certain range of temperature. When the temperature is high, the quantity of microporous and large holes increase due to their microporous collapse. Therefore, they will lead to increasing of specific surface area. It may also be explained that the larger the pore volume, the larger the surface area. Therefore, the micropores makes the greatest contribution to the overall surface area of the biochar. And the last result is based on the adsorption experiment. From the batch experiments that I had conducted, I had found out that the optimum condition for a magnetic biochar to have the highest efficiency in treating waste cooking oil is during 1.5 gram dosage of magnetic biochar with 1% of oil concentration in the first cycle, and the separation efficiency is 95% of oil removal. Another result that I had obtained is from the batch experiments. Based on the graph of the highest percentage of oil removal against number of cycles, I can find out that the optimum condition for the magnetic biochar to have the highest efficiency in treating waste cooking oil is during 1.5 gram dosage of magnetic biochar with 1% of oil concentration in the first cycle, and the percentage of the oil removal is high, which is 95%. Lastly, in conclusion, we can find out that the magnetic biochar derived from oil compounds have high potential in treating waste cooking oil water, and the percentage of oil removal increases with the increased amount of the magnetic biochar used and the contact time taken. That's all for me. Thank you for listening.